Welcome in everybody to another Escape from Tarkov video. Today I wanted to share with you my favorite current way to farm rogues. And this is a great method if you don't want to snipe, if you want to avoid the bloodbath at the southwestern gate that's incredibly popular, or if you get an eastern spawn in the mountains and still want to hunt some rogues. So let's get after it. So we're starting off on the eastern side of the rogue compound. Really, we're coming up on Warehouse 3. And if you don't get one of the mountain spawns, as you're coming across here, always make sure you're just looking up top at the rocks. Obviously, people do like to snipe in this area, and there are 2 mountain spawns that people can have and start to snipe at. Typically, I find that they're more focused on the rogues than they are us down here, but you can typically see their silhouettes. So now when you come around this corner, you're going to instantly want to press up against this wall. There is a gunner on top of Warehouse 2 who will have shots at you if you're standing out in the open like this. Now, that gunner on top of Warehouse 2 is the key to taking out to unlock the rest of the rooftop rogues for us, which, as I'm sure you've seen, are some of the easiest rogues to take out. So we're just going to walk along here. Again, just be aware of any of the potential PMCs up there. And we're going to move towards Warehouse 3. Now, as you're getting towards Warehouse 3, slow down, listen, and be careful, because ground rogues can spawn. And the first spot to listen to is right before you enter this door. Be very careful, as the rogues can spawn right here. I've seen one spawn on the other side right here. They'll spawn along the base of the warehouse or right to the left of it. Now, the easiest way to take them out is to sit behind here, hit them with your slow peek, and take them out before they even react to you. There are typically 3 ground rogues here to take out, and if you get them, free great loot. And honestly, there are times where I'll take them out, and then I'll just get out and reset the raid. But if they are not spawned out here, they're not a guaranteed spawn, nor are they guaranteed here. Be careful as you're approaching the Warehouse 3. Look to see if that door is open. If that door is open, either players or rogues have been here. And where you'll typically see the rogues, then, is on the scaffolding, up to the left and up to the right. Now, my favorite way to deal with them on the scaffolding, take a nice little grenade, throw it in there, rile them up, get them antsy. And then I myself will come up to the side here, open it up, and look to try to fight them close quarters. Now, when you're fighting rogues, in my opinion, your best friend, of course, is taking them out before they see you. But the secondary way is to take them out at super close range, using those corners and angles to your advantage. Where you lose to rogues is if you start trying to trade bullets at mid-range. If I started to try to trade bullets with the rogues here, that's a losing proposition. So get up close, take out the rogues, and get their loot. Now, if they have not spawned in any of those 2 areas, look along the scaffolding up top. I've seen them spawn in there, or they can spawn at the other end of the warehouse. Now, at this point, if you have taken out the rogues, or you haven't seen them, maybe they haven't spawned, couple loot spawns to hit while you're in this warehouse that are just amazing loot. Now, this isn't a comprehensive guide, but just a couple quick checkpoints. This box right here, Iridium, perfect. Then come over to the store here, open it up. You'll want to check inside the box. We have a bag, jacket right there. Just a couple nice spawns to loot. As we can see, we have a moonshine right on the bed here. Beautiful. Always loot this room, as it has a couple of really nice spawns. Leaving this room, we're going to go to the room on the other side. In here, a couple of more moonshine spawns on here, on the table, right where that milk is, and of course a jacket. And inside here, this is a popular room, so be careful, be aware that there might be some people here. But tech spawns all along there. Look that, we've got a military cable and, ooh, unknown item. A military gyrometer, the MGT, that is very valuable. And of course, we have another jacket here on the wall. Now again, as you're walking through this warehouse, be careful that the rogues can spawn up top there. If they haven't, we're going to make our own way up here. Gold loot spawn, as well as spawns along the bridge here. Now again, not a comprehensive guide, but those are some areas to absolutely check out. Now, once we are traveling the length of this warehouse, we need to be careful because the rogues can spawn right on the other side of that wall there. And with all of these rogues, you will hear their voice comms. They will either be making sounds, they'll voice line at you, and you'll know they're there. And so wait here. They can be on the other side of this building. You could try to get them to come in through the warehouse and snipe them as they go through this door. It's tough to fight them outside because we have our gunner up top there. Now, the key here is to take out the gunner on top of warehouse 2. And so we're going to come up here, and we are going to slow peek until we can get him. And you can shoot through this gap here and take him out. Now, once you've taken him out, assuming there are no ground rogues out here, be careful. I've seen them spawn there, as well as inside warehouse 2 with the bosses. That door does start open, so it's not an indicator of anything. From here, you have a big choice because we've taken out a gunner on there. 2 more rogues can spawn up top there that are usually pretty easy to take. But the freest rogue, of course, is on top of warehouse 3. And I'd recommend going after this guy if you've taken out some of the ground rogues. You're already chock full of loot, bursting from the seams probably. But here's another free rogue for you that you can get. Walk up here. He's not going to get out of there, and bang. Now, when you're looting all of these folks, one thing I would recommend is as you come over to loot, always lay down, as it eliminates pretty much all sightlines or anyone who could shoot you. And so, from here, if you just want to go on top of warehouse 2, or you've already taken out the gunners on top of warehouse 3, very easy to loot the rogues up top here. Again, be careful for rogues spawning inside. Again, just listen for their voice comms. They're pretty easy to hear. But from here, we're going to go up top on this warehouse, and these are some of the easier rogues to take out. Again, just be careful. If they've pushed off their gun, they will typically reset after a short amount of time. And so as we come up here, one thing I really like to do is go loot this first rogue over here that we've already taken out. This is because typically I like to run pretty crappy gear when I'm doing this. And so getting that first rogue weapon, whether you've done it on Warehouse 3 or you get this guy right here, is a massive boost just to your lethality and for the rest of your rogue hunting. Of course, from here, we're going to want to go over to the other 2 rogues here. Assuming they haven't pushed off their guns, they're free targets. If they have, I like to just wait till I get back. But we're going to have 1 and then 2. Now, the gunner on top of the other warehouse, if you haven't taken him out, can get some shots off at you. But typically, I have found, personally, that if you lay down when looting them, you can take them out. So at this point, you have probably looted 7 rogues. 3 ground rogues, 4 on top of the warehouse. If for whatever reason, you still want to loot more rogues, you can do that. Typically, the path I like to follow is this way, because the gunner on top of the warehouse does not have an angle on you. And you can get over here relatively unscathed. Now, ground rogues can spawn at warehouse 1, so be very careful. Again, just listen for the audio cues, and you're going to be able to hear if they're around. If they are and you have enough loot, honestly, I recommend just getting out of here. Otherwise, usually they will spawn outside the warehouse to the right, behind the warehouse towards the scav grotto, or outside or near the front of the warehouse over there. And so relatively safe to be able to just come up top here. 1 jump, 2 jump. We come up top here. And then if we haven't taken out this gunner, 1. And then we can run over here and get a second one. And at this point, we have looted the entire rogue compound without having to snipe or do anything of the sort. This is my current favorite way to farm rogues, and I recommend you doing it as well.